Hey Jets, part three of your individual project is going to focus on event sponsorship, marketing, and staffing. At the end of the day, when we combine all these different pieces together from your rough drafts and put it to the final project, the second part that you just finished and this part will probably make up about 80 to 90% of your final report. So with that, I know that and for part two, the content was pretty light overall, and there wasn't too much depth based on validated research regarding target markets, regarding competitive analysis when you talk about those external threats with competition, um, through the SWOT. Um, Identifying some of the key partners. This is the stage we have to tie names with specifics and with outcomes. So when we are talking about marketing, when we say we want to connect with individuals from this age to this age, or let's say high school females in the Jackson area that play basketball, what does that mean? So we got to get numbers and calculate based on the X amount of schools in the county. There are X amount of students that match that target market for what you're looking for. Well, if you're talking about adult populations, there's census data and other resources out there to have more of a numeric approach compared to generalizations. So when it comes to sponsorships, marketing, and staffing, these are areas that we do have to do substantial research over the week to figure out what what businesses are actually involved in sponsorships in the region, what the realistic range is, and this is when we're going to start to think about the budget. So when it comes to promoting these events, is this going to be accomplished via print marketing and flyers? Is it going to be heavy with digital marketing from email to social media, um, to search engine optimization? Are you utilizing billboards, radio, TV? What are those, and how much does that cost? So if you just Google cost of a billboard, that might get you in the right zone. However, a billboard in Jackson is probably about a third of the cost, maybe even a quarter of the cost compared to a billboard in Detroit. So we got to make sure that we do have um, that we do put the work in to figure out exactly what this marketing budget entails for a region like South Central Michigan. On the other side of this, we're going to be looking at staffing. Now, the staffing component, I don't necessarily expect that we're going to have every single position and every single volunteer need listed. However, what are the generalizations for those that are hosting a 3-on-3 basketball tournament? How much is paid staff? Is everyone a volunteer? How many scorekeepers are needed? How many officials are needed? What's the going rate for an official in Jackson County? How many people have to work registration? How many people are working in the concessions area? So this is a depth that we need to think about um, for staffing, as well as with marketing and sponsorship. We need to be very specific here, and we're not going to be opinion based. I know for some of the reports you say I personally, terminology like this, no, this is a proposal to the city or to a board of directors. So with that, when you are identifying sponsors, when you are formulating the staffing needs, please find comparable stuff for events that's out there, so you can quote that information and have a little bit of validity compared to leading on a hunch. So similar to the last section, it is critical to have those um, supplemental resources documented, recognized where you're finding this information from. But also, this is a great way in the marketing, sponsorship, and staffing areas that you can start to do more with images, tables, graphs, charts. So you could present tables that really break down the different sponsorship levels. And within each sponsorship level, what do you get out of it as a event planner, but also as a business that's buying into the sponsorship? For staffing, maybe have a small matrix based on clearly listing, this is the role, this is the need in terms of people, this is the budget. So not I mean, even though this is a report, you don't have to write a novel, you just have to provide and clearly present the depth of what you're going through here. So sometimes it might be easier to format something in a table than it would be to write 2 pages worth of content on. So the key things, make sure these different areas are touched on. Please do not respond to this like we're asking questions and we need answers. I mean, this is a report, maybe do a subtitle that says sponsorship, media relations, social media, traditional marketing, event staffing, whatever it is. Begin to divide it up and present it as you would a real report, compared to viewing it as a question answer academic assignment. So with this, like I said, this could be a 7-page section. This could be a 4-page section with very robust and support graphics. Um, but just make sure you put the time in. There's a reason why this assignment is due without any other assignments being due in the same week. It's gonna be time consuming. So just make sure you put you align the resources, put in the adequate amount of um, time and research to get a well put together section. All right. Let me know if you have any questions and look forward to reading your work next week.